Our top focus right now, West Bengal. A bench of the Supreme Court, including CJI D.Y. Chandrachud and Justices J.B. Pardiwala and Manoj Mishra, conducted the fifth day of proceedings in the Arjikar rape and murder case. The Supreme Court bench has now rescheduled the proceedings for the 14th of October. However, today, during the proceedings, the West Bengal government told the Supreme Court that resident doctors were not performing their inpatient and outpatient department duties. Apart from this, the Apex Court also pulled up the West Bengal government over the installation of CCTV cameras as well as infrastructural changes such as those in toilets that it had directed. The Supreme Court has asked the West Bengal government as to why most of its projects were stuck and were not even halfway close to the completion mark. The court has also heard arguments that were discussed about the incident of the victim's identity being revealed. Senior advocate Mahesh Jethmalani also raised the issue of FIRs not being filed against the police for the revelation of the identity. The Supreme Court has urged the lawyers to now take legal recourse against a file made on the victim's life, which is slated to release tomorrow. Meanwhile, junior doctors continue to carry out their mashal marches and are asking for their demands to be heard. With the West Bengal government raising the issue of doctors not resuming work in the Supreme Court, it seems as though the conflict in the case continues. Amidst all of this, what's truly important, of course, is justice for the victim. But what really is the way forward between the protesting doctors? I take this conversation forward. I have with me Riju Datta of the TMC, Abhishek Banerjee, political analyst, Dr. Arindam Biswas, consultant, Department of General Medicine, and Dr. K.R. Gupta, senior medical officer, also joining us on the broadcast. Let me begin this conversation with Riju Datta. Riju Datta, what are the latest demands that the protesting doctors have put before the TMC?
See, the protesting doctors right now, they had multiple demands. Most of their initial demands after a meeting with the Chief Minister, where the minutes were signed by the both parties, the Chief Secretary of the State and the Juniors Doctors Forum, 90% of those demands have been met. But there are few demands still pending, which is like the safety, security within the hospital premises, installation work and everything, separate washrooms and all that. So today it was raised in the Supreme Court as well, and the Supreme Court, the council representing the state clarified that we have completed on an average of around 40% work, where the Supreme Court has said why it is being a little tardy, where the answer that was given was that there are some logistic issues and some pending permissions from the CBI for the work to be completed. But the state has also informed the court that by 15th of October, all these pending work will be completed. And as of now, I have got information that the junior doctors are still in a huddle. They are doing a GB meeting. And I don't know what will come out of that meeting, so we have to wait for that.
Okay, Riju Datta, I'll come back to you in just a moment. I want to understand from Dr. Arindam Biswas at this point in time. Dr. Biswas, what really becomes the way forward as far as the protesting doctors are now concerned? Because as the TMC has pointed out, now the matter is before the courts and the courts are hearing it very regularly, and they are pulling up the government for not doing its job properly, as we've seen today as well. But as far as the protests are now concerned, how does the TMC government reassure the doctors that it's on their side?
Clear. The government is trying their best to beef up security in every hospital. Now they are trying to do their best, but in a government setup, we all know there is a rigmarole which we cannot ignore. Everything cannot be done, and everything cannot be done in a jiffy. We have to understand that government has to go through a process. The junior doctors are on strike, they are on partial strikes. Their lawyer tried to justify that they are doing their job properly, but officially they are on a partial strike. They are not doing OPD, they are doing IPD duties. So in that case, the court took a strong stand that as a doctor, they have to perform their job and complete their duty properly. So in that case, the court took a strong stand, and I think the court was correct in doing that. That one cannot be half-hearted in their approach. One has to do the job properly and completely and without leaving any stone unturned. At the same time, the junior doctors request security. Doctors request security. Hooliganism inside hospital premises should not be tolerated and the perpetrators should be arrested. But unfortunately, we have seen in the past in Bengal, several instances are there, but not a single culprit. Culprit was arrested initially, but nobody was booked, nobody got any exemplary punishment. That's why there is a frustration among doctors that this process may not be long-standing. A short-lived process will be taken up by the government or the administration, and the actual perpetrators will get away with their hooliganism. This must stop. This is abominable. This is loathsome. You cannot attack a doctor. At the doctors, I will request every junior doctor to return to their work. I think the common people are facing a tremendous problem. We have to understand the plight of the people. I am also a doctor. I can feel, I can share the pain of a common man. So as being a doctor, I would say there is enough of strike. You can't go for an indefinite strike. The strike must end. The government has...
Okay, I'll come back to you in just a moment. Dr. K.R. Gupta, bringing you into the conversation, I want to understand from your perspective as well, what is it that the government should do more in order to really now persuade the doctors, the protesting doctors, to move on from the strike? There has to be some mechanism through which they can continue raising their demands and continue taking updates from the government, from the state government. But at the same time, for the courts to also pull up the doctors to say that you're not really, it seems as though you're not being able to perform your duties. How does one go over this entire situation?
See, I am an ex-student of RG Medical College. And now that I work in a private institute, I know the difference there is between security in a private institute and security in a government institute. The security over there is absolutely not working because anyone and everyone can come in, blame the doctor, because people think that every death is caused by the doctor and beat them up. This doesn't happen in a private institute. Why? Because the security is active over there. There is plenty of CCTV camera. The junior doctors have got all their demands in writing on. Till now, no CCTV has been installed and they have demanded for police posting, which has not yet been implemented. So you see, they are boys, 18 to 23 years of age, and their parents have sent them to study, not to get beaten up. So they have their demands. I do agree with Dr. Biswas here that in the strike, the common people do suffer, and for which they are trying with their Abhaya clinic. They genuinely don't want the common people to suffer, but it's kind of a collateral damage that is coming out between the tussle, between the state government and the doctors' demand. And state government is asking for time, and the doctors are saying that in that time they will get beaten up. So it's kind of a catch-22 situation we are facing.
Okay, I want to bring Riju Datta back into the conversation. Riju Datta, I just want to understand from you. You said that there are some logistical issues as well as, of course, an it's an Arjikar, a portion of Arjikar is now part of an ongoing investigation by the CBI. It continues to be a part of an open case. But as far as the other areas of the hospitals are concerned, along with other government hospitals as well, because I'm assuming that the students are not just demanding security and CCTV installations in Arjikar Medical College, but also in across colleges and medical hospitals in West Bengal. What really is the status update as far as that is concerned? What is keeping the West Bengal government from posting police officers, bringing in security and also installing the CCTV cameras in the other part of the complex?
Okay, now let's go one by one. I heard the previous two doctors. I hope the lady doctor before me, she just gathers a little more information, because CCTV is already started installing. In all the pan-Bengal medical colleges, around 36% of the total CCTV that has to be installed is already installed, and that was presented before the Chief Justice of the Honorable Supreme Court today. RG Medical College specifically, CCTVs are installed. The work about the civil work is going on. Some portions is not touched because the state government needs CBI approval to touch those places, which is like near the site of crime. Separately, let me also tell your viewers very categorically that police post right now, RG is under CISF security because the investigation is going on. There is a police outpost in every medical college, and there are non-government police personnel. Recently, there was an incident in Kolkata Doctor Medical College where, a family of patient parties, they barged into the female ward and they disrupted, they started hitting the junior doctors and everything. They are already arrested. And the non-government security staff that was present, they are also show cause. We are trying to hype up. We are trying to get more and more security in place for the security of the junior doctors because it is our duty to do so. But in accordance with what the previous doctor said, the gentleman who said that the junior doctors must go back to work, one thing we are missing in this debate is that almost 70% of Bengal is flooded now. It's a man-made flood, and when flood happens, there are plethora of diseases that come into the foray, starting from typhoid, from general viral fever and diarrhea and all sorts of other diseases. So at this time of need, when 70% of Bengal is underwater and is flooded, the junior doctors should be more responsible. They should cater to the common people who cannot afford private health care, cannot afford to go to these private institutions, and then the protest can go on. But also I want to make one point very clear, that the junior doctors have all these days have been very well in making sure that there is no political affiliation or political pressure on the junior doctors, or there is no political color in their protest. But yesterday, a very sad incident came to light where during the junior doctors protest, a group of people, I don't know who are these unknown people, and FIR has been registered against the unknowns, has raised slogans of Kashmir Mange Azadi. How is that even related to justice for Abhaya? How is that even related to the junior doctors protest?
Okay.
Kashmir was, is, and always be an integral part of India. So who are these people who are infiltrating this protest? Who are these people who are infiltrating these rallies? Who are these people who are trying to influence the people who are protesting into trying to hold the state to ransom, or trying to hold the biggest festival of Bengal is Durga Puja to ransom? It cannot be an ego tussle between the doctors and the state, and the common man suffer. No, the state is with the doctors. The state will accept everything that is knowledgeable, everything that is sensible, but the common people cannot suffer.
Okay.
That responsibility lies on the state as well as the junior doctors.
Okay, I want to bring Abhishek Banerjee into the conversation. Abhishek Banerjee, is there then a worry or a fear that the doctors' protest, if it is prolonged at this point in time, could be taken over by some anti-social elements as well? And that's something that has to be kept in mind.
Yeah, so I would make several points. The first thing is that let us not forget how this began. This started because of the extremely insensitive handling of the situation by the TMC government, which, the principal, he was posted to another college within like 4 hours. So that was a farce they enacted. Now these protesting doctors, they are clearly not dumb, right? They understand that the state government is basically waiting out their protest. They have already almost reached the end of the news cycle. In a few days, there will be Durga Puja celebrations and everybody will forget all about it. So clearly they understand that once people forget about it, they know how things work in Bengal, and that is probably going to happen. Now, the other point is, as you can see what Mr. Riju Datta just did, they have already started this sort of disinformation campaign. Like, for instance, he says that the flood in Bengal is man-made, and the government of West Bengal, it is a very strange situation that they had like a few days of blocking of the Jharkhand border, where they thought that water from DVC is being sent to flood Bengal. So there's very paranoid, crazy kind of theories that they have been circulating. And the final point which Mr. Riju Datta raised, it's a very valid concern that there are certain organizations who are trying to infiltrate this protest. Now you can hear the slogan, Kashmir Mange Azadi. It's a terrible slogan. I condemn it. It's a slogan raised by extreme left and liberal elements who are actually, in that case, I would request the TMC to come out of the India Alliance. And we know who raises these slogans. It's communists and Islamists. So the TMC should stop allying with communists and Islamists in the India Alliance if they want to honestly condemn the slogan. I heavily condemn the slogan. Kashmir is an integral part of India, and therefore, if the TMC feels so strongly about communist and Islamist elements, it should stop allying with them.
Okay, Riju Datta, I give you a chance to respond to that. Then I bring the doctors back into the conversation.
Nothing much to respond. India Alliance is India Alliance for the larger perspective. But yes, it is a fact that the left, the ultra left, the urban nexus have infiltrated these protests. And under the garb of the protest of the doctors, they are trying to peddle their anti-national agenda. We are keeping a very close eye on it. And already an FIR has been lodged against unknown people who have raised this slogan. We also have the visuals. I even tweeted the video. That will not be tolerated. That will not be allowed. Protests can go on. We are with the doctors. We support them. We respect them. But we sincerely hope that good sense prevail and the doctors continue giving service to the poor and the underprivileged cannot afford private health care, especially in this time of need where there is flooding everywhere in Bengal.
Okay, Dr. K.R. Gupta, bring you back in the conversation, ma'am. Some of the claims that you made, outrightly refuted by the TMC. How do you respond to that?
See, regarding the CCTV, the doctors have a demand and it has not been met. And running the CISF in Arjikot, they are not only demanding security in Arjikot. This Shagor Datto incident happened in Shagor Datto. There was another stray incident in Rampurhat. So this violence against doctor is not something that has come up today. It has been ongoing culture of the people reacting in the government hospital. So they are saying that CISF, how long will CISF stay? So we need police force there. We need CCTVs there. Number one. Number two is regarding the boys, they are also going for flood relief in the areas where the people are suffering. They have the Abhaya clinic. Number three, regarding this Kashmir Mange Azadi, we really don't know which people infiltrated and which people suddenly, because that is never was, never will be a part of the doctors' movement. The doctors' movement is solely for the working conditions to be good enough so that another Abhaya does not happen in Arjikot Medical College or for any other college all over West Bengal.
Okay, I've completely run out of time and I thank all of our panelists for joining us on the broadcast to take this very important conversation forward.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.